What stereotype are you the opposite of? Autism. I mother of frogs. Frogs. Hey, you, I mother of frogs. Thank you for your post at autism. Our rules can be found here. https www.reddit.com/r/autism/wiki/config/sidebar. All approved posts get this message. If you do not see your post, you can message the moderators here. https www.reddit.com/message/compose 2%2fr%2fautism. Thanks. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose 2=r/autism. If you have any questions or concerns. Auto moderator 1. Doesn't understand sarcasm. I'm very good at sarcasm and understand sarcastic jokes. Many people have said they don't get my own sarcasm though. Springsomnia 1. Perhaps an odd one. Happy arm flapping. I do not stim by flapping my arms excitedly or when feeling good. If you see me flapping my arms, I am trying to get the mental yuck out of my body, and there's an 70% chance I am pissed off. Earthbound pigeon 1. I am the one that loves loud sounds. My music is always blasting. My ears hate me. Not being able to hear things properly makes me anxious. High on herbs 1. Similarly to you, I am sensory seeking when it comes to food and love novelty and unusual, unique flavors and textures. I still have same foods and safe comfort foods. But I do not fall into the stereotype that all autistic folk are sensory avoidant for food. Also, I am highly emotional and empathetic, contrary to the common autistic stereotype. Hi Bobcat 1. Probably the loves kids stuff 1. I don't enjoy stuff like cartoons. Not even the ones made for a more mature audience. A lot of people assume all autistic people love kids shows, games and movies. Fine at 8360. 1. I don't like trains. I don't like train spotting, hearing them or train timetables. I avoid trains where possible. Agreeable egg 8045. 1. I am far from a genius and suck at math though, to be fair. I am quite fluent in 3 languages but hate conversations. So that's quite useless. Some say I don't want to use my versatility in linguistics. I don't have a repeated fashion collection. There's times I feel dark and gloomy, so I will rock an all-black outfit with even painted fingernails in black. I am a man. And there's time I dress in earth tones. Sometimes formal, sometimes casual. No stimming. I am not as structured as many believe I should be for being on the spectrum. Some stuff is extremely well structured and ordered, others are not. Hellovic 1. Does anyone else hate that it's called meltdown? Autism. Glowing gominously. Hey, you, glowing gominously. Thank you for your post at autism. Our rules can be found here. https www.reddit.com/r/autism/wiki/config/sidebar. All approved posts get this message. If you do not see your post, you can message the moderators here. https www.reddit.com/message/compose 2%2fr%2fautism. Thanks. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose 2=r/autism. If you have any questions or concerns. Auto moderator 1. Sounds like autistic people are powered by uranium rods. Diomac 1. I can't speak for everyone, of course. But for me, I think the word is apt. They certainly feel like meltdowns. Sagely Advice 1987. 1. In this Spanish article, La diferencia entre meltdown, shutdown, why burnout, https recurso-colapso-autismo-meltdown-shutdown-burnout/. The difference between meltdown, shutdown, and burnout. The author uses the term crisis _crisis_ in English as well, for meltdown, and cortocircuito _short circuit in English for shutdown. She doesn't exactly propose new terms. She just uses those terms to elucidate her definitions, which also helps reframe the terminology outside of English. Daniel J. Green. 1. I'll take it over. Tantrum, 221 Maudlin Street, 1. Better than Tantrum. Weasel Blackberry 8, 1. I propose overwhelm or overload occurrence, Winter Reverb, 1. No, because when I am having them it is a meltdown. It is not my fault that people degrade the feelings of children who also experience them. The main issue here is that people do not have any respect for children or what they are feeling, and feel okay looking down on them. So when we share any experiences or terms, it is used as an insult. However, I still understand the need many people have to avoid that association. We are infantilized enough as is. Chalemian. 1. My mom says that masking is good because she compares it to respecting another country's culture. When you move there, she thinks we are respecting the NTS when we mask. What is your opinion on this? Autism. Octai the Bestagon. Hey, you, Octai the Bestagon. Thank you for your post at autism. Our rules can be found here. https www.reddit.com/r/autism/wiki/config/sidebar. All approved posts get this message. If you do not see your post, you can message the moderators here. https www.reddit.com/message/compose 2%2fr%2fautism. Thanks. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose =r/autism if you have any questions or concerns. Auto moderator. 1. I don't even know how to start deconstructing that. It's just that wrong of an analogy. We are an inherent part of every culture. It's a disability. And this analogy would be similar to telling a blind person, well, the majority of us see, so you should just adapt to that. If you use Braille to read, you are not well adapted to our culture. It's BS to the fullest extent. Substantial Yam 3317. 1. Do we get a country of our own then? If you live on your own, will your mom abide by autistic culture when she visits? Phil_my nuts. 1. Wait. So if we're respecting the NT culture, then who's respecting us? Are we just meant to live our lives bending over to please everyone else because that's what I've been doing and I am kind of getting sick of it? I can write all the poetry I want about not wanting to be shoved inside a box by society, but that doesn't mean it's not gonna happen. Splatter_shell. 1. Nah, respecting a culture and copying it aren't the same thing. Plus, we weren't chased off our homeworld by planet eaters and found refuge on Earth. We've been born here and didn't move anywhere. Tash lie. 1. Holy fuck, that's not what masking is at all. Masking is literally suppressing the weirder parts of ourselves so we don't stand out in a crowd. It's not about respecting culture. It's a defense mechanism so we don't get harassed and bullied for being different. TFDUDE 13. 1. That's so yikes. We're not giving respect by masking and placating neurotypical fragile feelings and mindless behavior. We redoing it to avoid being institutionalized, sterilized, isolated, and so on. That's just ableism with some extra flowery words. She's praising maskers for jumping through flaming hoops rather than dismantling the circus. Fluffy_artichoke_723. 1. Going to another country and playing by their rules is an inherently distress-inducing for that individual. Masking is distressing. It causes damage over time. It's not the same. Original entrance 48. 1. Why do adults not say the word autism? Autism. Taehyung's left toenail. Hey, you, Taehyung's left toenail. Thank you for your post at autism. Our rules can be found here. https www.reddit.com/r/autism/wiki/config/sidebar. All approved posts get this message. If you do not see your post, you can message the moderators here. https www.reddit.com/message/compose 2=%2fr%2fautism. Thanks. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose 2=r/autism if you have any questions or concerns. Auto moderator 1. There's probably stigma associated with the word autism for your parents. That's the only thing I can think of. Delicious_2_4182 160. My boss, who's like 26, so not old, tiptoes around it a lot. He's gotten a lot better though. Because of your, and because of your autism is usually how he says it, but at least he's saying it. It's a work in progress. Froderenfelimus 82. I don't really have an answer. But I was talking to my child, late teens autistic, and they told me that they had met a new person today. That person, 20s, asked my child whether they were on the spectrum. It turns out that person was autistic too. So from this interaction, it's not necessarily a generational or even NT thing. As autists, we get to choose what preferred term we use to describe ourselves. Personally, I don't care what term is used by others so long as it's said with kindness. It must be quite confusing for NTs when we can't even decide on a single preferred term amongst ourselves. Educational_worth 906. 22. So, you should ask your parents specifically. There is a main old reason. And a main new reason. In the past, autism was basically only diagnosed in males who also had an intellectual disability and would likely be permanently disabled. So, an autism diagnosis was a pretty negative thing, especially with how society decided to deal with anyone disabled. I am simplifying a lot. Look up some history if you need more context. Newer main reason is socially appropriate verbiage is moving to people aren't autistic. They have autism spectrum disorder. Then everything else is slang. And there's not a right or wrong way. But without looking it up, everyone knows there's a socially correct way. But not which ways are the socially acceptable ones. Hope this kind of answers it a little bit. I cut out a lot of context. Particular_sale 5675. 1. There are two different motivations that I can think of. 1. Magical thinking. They feel that if they avoid saying the word autism, then they prevent it from being true. Some people actually think like this. It's wild. Or 2. Misguided notion of respect, deference towards parents of non-verbal or otherwise higher needs. Autistic folk. They don't want to arouse their anger by suggesting that your difficulties might cohabit the same broad continuum that their kids' difficulties do. Fried Bryce. 1. It's absolutely because of the stigma. I've observed people of all adult ages say it. And it always feels like a euphemism for autistic. I think it's based on the misconception that the spectrum is a line from very autistic to slightly autistic. So by saying someone is on the spectrum, it's a polite way of saying someone has autistic traits without labeling them as something that can be incredibly stigmatizing. Basically, in NT culture, it's rude to call someone autistic, and showing a lot of social vulnerability to call oneself autistic. Dangerous cranberry _1. I don't think this is an *adults thing. I think this is a *your parents thing. They know the answer. And you can ask them. Drakeytown. 15.